This is Julie from Julie's Wreath Boutique, and I wanted to share 3 different ways you can make a DIY face mask. Unfortunately, right now it is April of 2020 and we are needing face masks if we go out in public, and it is recommended that we wear these. So if you're in a different country, let me know in the comments where you're from and if you guys are wearing the face masks right now. But I'm going to show you 2 really simple, really almost zero cost to you if you have these items in your home, and I think most of you probably do. And then I'm going to have my friend Rachel, and she is going to show us how to sew them properly. I am not a seamstress, but she is, and she's going to show us how she has been making the masks to help in her community. It's very important that you remember that none of this is a medical grade mask. This is simply something that we can put on, and when we need to go to the grocery store for essentials, or maybe you need to go to the post office or something that's very essential. So stay home if you can, but I'm going to show you a quick way here. So the first one we're going to do is we're just going to use this bandana, and I'm sure that a lot of people have these in their homes. If not, maybe you have fabric. This would measure out to about 20 inches by about 20 inches as a square. So if you had a 100% cotton piece of fabric, that should work well. So all I'm going to do is I'm going to fold it over once, and then I'm going to fold it over again. Okay, so at this point I'm going to take 2 rubber bands. These came in a bag that I literally, I've had this bag forever from Dollar Tree. You can also use hair ties if you have some of those. So you're going to put 1 rubber band about 1/3 of the way through here, or 1/4, I'm not really sure how much that is. And then on the other side, and a lot of people have been doing this. I've seen this done with pillowcases as well. And then they simply bring it over like this. And some people are like tucking them in, and you can do that. If you can get that to tuck in, do that. But it really, I didn't feel like it really made a huge difference. So at this point, okay, you have the size of the mask. And if you want, you don't have to do this step, but I did take a stapler and I just stapled both ends just to secure it just a little bit more. It's really easy. And then you'll use this to go around your ears. Okay, so that is the first mask. This is very simple. Now, if you were making one for a child, I would probably make the dimensions maybe 15 by 15, and that's several layers. Make sure you wash these or soak them in boiling water for 5 minutes and let dry. But it's very important that you wash these and sanitize them as well. And you can take the staples out and fold it over again and do the same thing. So for the next one, I have these microfiber washcloths, and these are literally just like 11 inches by 11 inches. And I thought, well, not everybody has a bandana, not everybody has extra fabric at home, but almost everybody should have a washcloth. So all I did was I just took a side and I just gathered it, and I took another smaller rubber band and I just go around one edge. Okay, I'm gonna do the other side. Maybe because it was some microfiber, when I put this on, I really did feel like it secured really nicely to my face. And it felt like it might do a decent job for you. Again, these are not medical grade, and these should not be used in replacement of medical grade masks for those who need those. Okay, so at this point, all I did was take a rubber band, and I'm just going to go under one of the rubber bands here. Okay, and I'm just going to go through the loop. Okay, see? So that gives us one way to put it over our ear. So let me do that again. I'm going to show it a little bit closer. So you're just going to take one of your rubber bands, take a larger one, and just run it through. Okay, and there you have a little mask that you can put on. Now, this is simple. This is DIY. This isn't really fancy. But if you need something, this might help you feel a little bit more secure about going in public. So the next clip is going to be my friend Rachel, and she's going to show you how to sew them if you have those skills. So thank you, Rachel, for helping me out today.
Today I'm going to show you how to make a cloth face mask. You're going to need 3 different kinds of material. You're going to need 2 cotton and 1 flannel. These are going to be cut into squares that are 6 inches by 9 inches. You also need 2 7-inch strips of elastic for the ear loops. You're going to place the right sides of the cotton together and the flannel on your back piece. Then you're going to stick them in your sewing machine about 3/4 of the way down on the longest side and start sewing. You're going to want to do this with a locking stitch, so you're going to start going forward and then backward. This is to make sure the stitches don't come out and you have a good hold. Once you get to the corner, simply raise your presser foot with the needle still in the fabric and turn your fabric. Now we're going to put our first elastic ear loop on. You're going to open the fabric and place the elastic as snug as you can up against the needle after you raise your presser foot. Then you're going to sew over it with a locking stitch again to make sure that it is nice and snug. Once you are done doing this, you're going to sew down the rest of the side, leaving about an inch gap so you can put the last part of the ear loop on. Raise your presser foot, pull the elastic over and between the 2 pieces of material, and do a locking stitch again once you lower your presser foot. Keep in mind, you need to do these steps on both the short sides of the mask. Now turn your material again with the needle in place, and you're going to sew the rest of the mask all the way around, leaving about a 3-inch gap from where you first started. This is to have a hole so you can turn the mask right side out. Cut the corners of your mask before you turn it around so you can make the corners laid flat. Now we're going to open that gap, start turning everything right side out. Use the elastic straps if you need to pull on to get those corners out. Makes it a little bit easier. And voila, our mask is right side out. Now stick your scissors into that gap and you're going to poke around a little bit and find the corners. You want to poke them out as much as you can, being careful not to puncture through the material. This makes sure that your mask lays flat and it looks nice and crisp. See, all 4 corners are done. Now take your mask and iron over top of it just to make sure everything lays nice and flat whenever you're sewing the other side. Now we're going to sew 1/2 inch from the top, doing a locking stitch, sew all the way down and do another locking stitch. This is going to be part of the compartment that holds the wire for your nose piece. Now get a pipe cleaner, cut it in half, and you're going to use 1/2 of it to stick in the hole and make sure it goes all the way in, and this is going to be our wire nose piece. Now we're going to sew across the top to close the gap that we just stuck the pipe cleaner in. Now we're going to make the pleat. Fold the material about 3/4 of the way down and fold it back up about 1/2 of the way. Put pins in this to create your first pleat. Do this again to create your second pleat. Make sure you're pinning as you go. Now with the presser foot right up against the edge of the material, sew all the way down, doing a locking stitch at the top and the bottom. This sews your side seam. Do this on both sides. Take out your pins and your mask is completed. Thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope this was helpful to you. Everybody stay safe and healthy.